If your subwoofer says 2 ohms, that does not automatically mean your amplifier will see 2 ohms. Wire it one way and you can get 1 ohm. Wire it another way and you can get 4 ohms. Get the wiring wrong, and you can end up with an amp that overheats, clips, or shuts down. So today, I'm going to make subwoofer wiring simple. We'll cover single voice coil and dual voice coil subs, 1 sub and 2 subs, and the common 1 ohm, 2 ohm, and 4 ohm loads. I'll also show you the simple math behind a subwoofer wiring calculator, so you can figure out the final impedance before you connect anything. First, let's clear up the biggest source of confusion. The ohm rating printed on the subwoofer is the impedance of the voice coil. It is not necessarily the impedance your amplifier will see after you connect everything. A single voice coil, or SVC, subwoofer has 1 positive and 1 negative terminal. If it's an SVC 2 ohm sub, that coil is 2 ohms. If it's an SVC 4 ohm sub, that coil is 4 ohms. There's no series or parallel choice on a single SVC sub because there is only 1 voice coil. For example, if I have one SVC 4 ohm subwoofer, I simply connect the amplifier's positive output to the sub's positive terminal, and the amplifier's negative output to the sub's negative terminal. The amplifier sees 4 ohms. Now things get more interesting with a DVC, or dual voice coil, subwoofer. A DVC sub has 2 separate voice coils. You'll normally see 2 positive terminals and 2 negative terminals. The important thing is that those 2 coils can be wired in series or in parallel. That gives us 2 different impedance options from the exact same subwoofer. Take a DVC 4 ohm sub. Each voice coil is 4 ohms. Wire the 2 coils in parallel, and the final load becomes 2 ohms. Wire those same coils in series, and the final load becomes 8 ohms. That's one of the most useful things to understand about car subwoofers. The 4 ohm, printed on a DVC sub, does not mean the finished load has to be 4 ohms. Each individual coil is 4 ohms. For parallel wiring, connect both positive voice coil terminals together and both negative terminals together. Then connect the amplifier positive to the combined positives and the amplifier negative to the combined negatives. The easy shortcut for 2 equal coils is this: parallel wiring cuts the impedance in half. So a DVC 4 ohm sub becomes 2 ohms in parallel. A DVC 2 ohm sub becomes 1 ohm in parallel. Series wiring works differently. You connect the amplifier positive to the positive of the first voice coil. Then connect the negative of that first coil to the positive of the second coil. Finally, the negative of the second coil goes back to the amplifier negative. With 2 equal coils in series, you simply add their impedance together. So a DVC 2 ohm sub becomes 4 ohms in series. A DVC 4 ohm sub becomes 8 ohms in series. Now let's bring a second subwoofer into the picture, because this is where a lot of people get lost. Suppose I have 2 SVC 4 ohm subwoofers. I can wire them in parallel. The positive terminals of both subs connect together, and the negative terminals connect together. The amplifier then sees 2 ohms. Wire those same 2 SVC 4 ohm subs in series, and the impedance becomes 8 ohms. The amplifier positive goes to the positive of subwoofer 1. The negative of subwoofer 1 connects to the positive of subwoofer 2. The negative of subwoofer 2 returns to the amplifier negative. So 2 SVC 4 ohm subs can give me either 2 ohms in parallel, or 8 ohms in series. Now let's use 2 SVC 2 ohm subs. Parallel them and the amplifier sees 1 ohm. Put them in series and the amplifier sees 4 ohms. This is why you should never buy an amplifier first and randomly pick subwoofers afterward. You want the amplifier and the final wiring load to work together. Let's move to 2 DVC subwoofers. This is where you get a lot more wiring possibilities. For example, imagine 2 DVC 4 ohm subwoofers. Each sub has 2 4 ohm voice coils. One common setup is to wire each sub's two voice coils in parallel. Each individual sub then becomes 2 ohms. You can then wire those two 2 ohm subs in parallel. The final amplifier load becomes 1 ohm. That's a very common high-power car audio configuration. Another option is to wire each DVC 4 ohm sub in series. Each sub becomes 8 ohms. Put those two 8 ohm subs in parallel, and the final load becomes 4 ohms. You can also wire the two subs in series after configuring each sub individually, which produces higher loads. For example, two DVC 4 ohm subs, with each sub wired in series to 8 ohms, can then be wired in series to produce 16 ohms. This configuration is not what most people are looking for in a typical car audio setup, but it shows why you need to calculate the final load instead of guessing from the label. Now let's look at two DVC 2 ohm subs, because these are especially popular for 1 ohm systems. Each sub has two 2 ohm voice coils. Wire the coils on each sub in parallel, and each sub becomes 1 ohm. Put those two 1 ohm subs in parallel, and the final load becomes 0.5 ohm. That can be extremely demanding, and many amplifiers are not designed to operate at 0.5 ohm. So just because you can physically make a wiring configuration does not mean your amplifier can safely run it. Instead, there are other ways to configure two DVC 2 ohm subs. Wire each sub's coils in series and each sub becomes 4 ohms. Put those two 4 ohm subs in parallel, and the final amplifier load is 2 ohms. You can also wire the two 4 ohm sub-assemblies in series for an 8 ohm final load. There is a simple mathematical trick behind all of this. When components are wired in series, you add their impedances. So 2 ohms plus 2 ohms equals 4 ohms. 4 plus 4 equals 8 ohms. The same basic rule applies when you have multiple coils or subwoofer assemblies connected in series. Parallel wiring is different. For two equal impedances, you can use a shortcut: divide the impedance by 2. Two 4 ohm loads in parallel become 2 ohms. Two 2 ohm loads become 1 ohm. For two different impedances, the general formula is R equals R1 times R2, divided by R1 plus R2. That's essentially what a subwoofer wiring calculator is doing behind the scenes. It takes the impedance of the individual coils, determines whether they are connected in series or parallel, and calculates the final load. But there's another part of the puzzle that the calculator cannot decide for you: whether your amplifier is actually designed for that load. Let's say your amplifier is rated to produce its full power at 2 ohms. If you wire your subs down to 1 ohm, you cannot simply assume the amplifier will produce twice the power. Some amplifiers are 1 ohm stable and designed for that load. Others are not. When the impedance gets lower, the amplifier has to supply more current. That increases the electrical demand on the amplifier and the vehicle's charging system. If the amp isn't designed for that load, you can run into overheating, protection mode, voltage drop, distortion, or failure. This is also why I don't recommend choosing wiring based only on the number that looks most powerful. A lower impedance can allow a compatible amplifier to deliver more power, but you need to match the final load to the amplifier's specifications. There's another mistake I see all the time: confusing voice coil impedance with amplifier impedance. If you have a DVC 4 ohm subwoofer and wire the coils in parallel, you do not have a 4 ohm load. You have a 2 ohm load. If you have a DVC 2 ohm subwoofer and wire the coils in parallel, you get 1 ohm. And if you have two SVC 4 ohm subs wired in parallel, the amplifier sees 2 ohms. So before you connect a single power cable, I want you to work backward from the amplifier. First, check the amplifier's minimum stable impedance. Then determine how much power you want from it. Then choose the subwoofer configuration that produces a compatible final load. And don't forget to check the amplifier's wiring diagram and specifications. Some mono amplifiers are designed specifically for low impedance subwoofer systems, while other amplifiers have much higher minimum loads. The mystery is really pretty simple once you look at what's happening electrically. The number printed on the subwoofer is only the starting point. The way you connect the coils determines the final impedance, and the way you connect multiple subs changes it again. So the next time somebody says, "I have two 2-ohm subs, so my amp needs to be 2 ohms," stop and ask one question: are those subs SVC or DVC, and how are they wired? That one question can completely change the answer. And before you power everything up, double-check every positive and negative connection. Make sure the final impedance matches what your amplifier supports, use appropriate power and speaker wiring, and make sure your electrical system can handle the amplifier's demand. Now I want to hear from you. What subwoofer setup are you running right now? 1 sub or 2? SVC or DVC? And what final load are you running? 1 ohm, 2 ohms, 4 ohms, or something else? Drop your subwoofer and amplifier model in the comments. I'll help you figure out what your final wiring options are. And if this video saved you from accidentally wiring your amp to the wrong load, hit the like button, subscribe for more car audio wiring and installation tips, and share this with somebody who is about to build a subwoofer system. Thanks for watching till the end, and I will see you in the next one.